that brings us,
Ugh.
that brings us to the Tampa Bay
Before you start,
Buccaneers.
I feel like I'm on a lonely island here, man. I got 2 Tampa fans, and I just, you know what? I'm ready to go.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
17-0.
Yeah,
Where's this?
we're
Where's
taking
this?
it this year, dude.
Where's this exit button?
Oh man. Hey, but look, I'm gonna start off with this. Diehard Tampa fan, been around since Sean King, Trent Dilfer, all of those. But Jason Light has got to get more credit for what this guy does year in and year out in the offseason. He's a magician when it comes down to making sure that these guys get paid. We brought back some really key pieces that I legit thought that we were going to be losing Mike Evans this year. I really thought that we were going to be losing him. Get him back. I thought that there was a chance that we might lose Levante because he is getting a little bit older. Get him back. Antoine Winfield Jr., one of the best safeties in the league. Get him back. Then they go out, they bring back old Jordan Whitehead, who was a game wrecker when he was in this defense a couple of years ago before he departed to be with the Jets. Then, of course, they get Baker. They signed Baker, which there for a brief period, it almost was like, wait a minute, did Baker just come here, prove his point, and now he's going to go and get paid somewhere else? But he stays here in Tampa to continue to rally this team. They've all bought into him, which I absolutely love. And I love that they brought in the offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, which he was with Baker out in L.A. for his short stint. But I think that was good just simply because of the chemistry that was there, right? So I think that he's going to be able to implement the offense that Baker wants to play in, and that's going to do nothing but good because now you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, and then they go out and they draft these guys are playmakers, and Bucky Irving absolutely loved that pick with the running back from Oregon, and then Jalen McMillan, the guy from Washington, wide receiver from Washington. But they really beefed up that offensive line with the pick on Graham Barton at center. Ryan Jensen departed. I don't know if I'm not going to say that Ryan Jensen is a Jason Kelsey caliber because he's not at all. But as far as saying that, hey, Graham Barton can fill the role of Ryan Jensen, that's a tall order to fill. Is he going to be as good? I don't know. Time will tell. But I do like that pick. I like our 2 tackles with Luke Gadecki and Tristan Wirfs. I mean, Tristan Wirfs is an absolute animal. I don't know what's going to happen when it's time to pay Tristan, dude. It's going to be a scary year for sure. But and then you look at this defense. This D-line has got to be one of the deepest D-lines in the NFL as far as depth. You got Vita Vea. You got Kalijah Kancey. You got Yaya Diaby. You have Logan Hall. You have William Golston, who, if you're a Tampa fan, William Golston can make some big plays, especially down there by the goal line. Then you go out and you get Chris Braswell from Alabama. Guy's going to be awesome off the edge. So I really like this defense now. I say all of that. I don't know what it is about Tampa and secondaries. I don't know what it is. I think that they have something against cornerbacks. I'm not too sure, but we got rid of Carlton Davis. He went to the Detroit Lions, who he's definitely going to be a great addition to that defense. Hated to see him leave. We still have Jamel Dean, who not as consistent as you would like, right? I mean, he'll do, but he's not like that guy who you can just kind of be like, hey, go and follow this number 1 wide receiver, and we know that we're good. He definitely needs the over-the-top help. But I like this team. Now, I say all of that, though, and I'm right back to it. 10-7 at worst, 12-5 at best. And I think it's going to come down. I think it's just going to come down to the divisional games. Which team is going to pull away in those divisional games, and who can stay healthy? I think that's going to be the name of the game. But I like them, and I think that they will win this division again. The champs are going to be back. We're going to be in the playoffs. It's time to do some upsets again, man. Philadelphia fans, look away. Like, dude, we're here, and I like Baker Mayfield. I like what this team is doing. Let's just get that secondary a little bit stronger, man. I think that we could have a really solid team overall.
I would love to go with a 12-5, Dave, but I don't
Look,
know.
man, just say what you want to say. Don't immediately start kicking me in the face.
We went 9-8 last year.
I know. So why is it crazy to
won our-
say that we could go either 10-5 or 12-5, a couple of game difference? I'm not saying that we're going
not that much
14
better.
and 3.
They're not.
We did all right. We
They're
did
not
all
any
right.
better.
So on top of who you've mentioned, we did pick up Tyke Smith from UGA's safety, so we're pretty fat there. However, the cornerbacks is the biggest question for our defense because if passing wise on offense, we were 17th. We were kind of mid, right? We were trying to prove something. We were also passing way more than everybody else because guess where we were in rushing? Dead last in the NFL. We went from Rachaad White being the second coming of, the work done Mike's All-Star era to dead last because Steve Canales doesn't know how to run the ball.
That's okay because Liam Cohen does. So I'm okay with that.
Thank God. Because our total defense is 23rd, again, kind of towards the bottom. Sacks, we were 10th, so we were up in the top. On our turnover differential, because we had to play a lot of defense, was 9th. So Baker threw for 10 interceptions. We had the total 5 fumbles and only lost 1. We didn't really turn the ball over a whole lot, but I think we also didn't produce like we were supposed to. Like the offense wasn't clicking. We had 0 run offense. We have the weapons, right? We got Evans, we got Godwin, we got White, we got Bucky Irving to be a complimentary running back. We got Culp from Washington as well as our tight end to help out Cade Otton because apparently he doesn't like to catch the ball in clutch moments. And the defensive line, dude, we better start getting more sacks. Like, it's got to be a repeat of the 0-2. Like, I know we were in the 10th.
I was just about to say, you just said that we were in the 10th. What are you talking about?
We've been in further up for consistently longer periods of time, and now I'm seeing a decline for the Bucs, and it doesn't look very good. Now, keep in mind, our depth at quarterback needs a little bit of help, and I don't know why we didn't pick up anybody of a named value there, because obviously Kyle Trask is not the answer. We know that. The O-line still needs to push, right? It's the running game that needs to be proven there. And we had the 7th easiest schedule in the NFL, but we also have the hardest schedule according to our division. Take that with a grain of salt. This is also the weakest division in the NFC. So I think the Bucs realistically need to look at a 10 or an 11 win season, 11-6 or 10-7. And I said the same thing for the Falcons, right? If
you're out of your damn mind if you think that they're going to win 11 games.
I could just say 17-0.
Your damn mind.
You don't think the Bucs are going to win 11 games?
No, I mean, according to you guys, if I say 12-5, that is the end of the world for everybody.
So keep in mind, winning 12 or 13 games in the NFL is basically dominating your whole conference. Not just your division, like the divisional stuff. I'm talking about the whole conference. If you're talking about 12 and 13, 14 wins, you're talking about total domination.
6 is realistic.
It is realistic, and I'm still saying 11-6 or 10-7, somewhere in that range.
And I say 10-7 and 12-5, 1 game difference. But I'm
all right, guys. Let's bring it back.
One game can be the difference between not making the playoffs, being the 4th seed, or being the 1st seed. Keep that in mind. And we've never won more than 12 games.
And the year that we did, we won the Super Bowl.
And the last time we did that, we won the Super Bowl too.
Boom.
We were to 12-4.
History repeats itself, fellas.
All right. Let me burst this.
I don't know about that.
Bubble.
Baker, however, has the most wins in the playoffs than the other quarterbacks in this division.
Suck it. 28-3, Falcons fans. I was nice to you guys, but now screw you.
All right. Here's my thing.
Cheers.
And I'll ask you guys questions. And then you guys okay. You bring up Jensen, right? Jensen did one thing for that offensive line, and I think it was accountability. And I don't know a meaner offensive lineman than Jensen, man.
That's so true.
That's true.
He is. And I remember seeing him at practice, and he doesn't look like he's not like, oh, this guy's muscular. He just looks like a guy that's just going to stomp your face while eating a sandwich.
He's
and
big country.
He is, man.
He's
and worse is a beast. I remember standing next to that guy and going, this is a big dude. And for me, if you guys, David knows me, I'm a big guy. I'm not a little dude.
No.
And I was like, this is a big guy. So is the offensive line better this year than last year?
I would say that is to be determined. You can't determine that, because if Graham is who we think he's going to be, then yes, I do think it's going to be an improvement, especially on the interior.
So he's going to. He's okay,
but it's
it's too early to tell. But it's not a big improvement. Graham's not going to take this O-line over the top, and then all of a sudden they're an elite. I was a little off that they don't do anything to really address their running backs, and I thought they had the opportunity to in the offseason. Can anybody name me a good running back that's come out of Oregon?
The Michael James.
Bucky Irving.
I mean, that was pro. I can tell you who it is. It's Jonathan Stewart. He's their best running back to ever come out of Oregon.
I'll take that.
Well, yeah, based on
based on numbers. They that offense and that pack conference is built to put up points. I will say though, Mr. Bucky Irving against Washington only put up 20 yards, and then they go and play Arizona State, and he only had like 40 yards. So he's not. I think he's competing for. He's not competing to be a starter. I don't think he's. He looks great on paper, man. He's an Oregon running back. They're fast. I never heard the phrase, man, that Pac-10's defenses are so good. You never hear that phrase ever, because they're not good. But they do have Baker. I do like Baker, man. That guy's got grit, dude. He plays with heart. They have the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. How this guy is not always in the top three, I'll never know, man. Mike Evans is a beast. I do think it helps that Godwin goes back to the slot full time, and that's where he truly belongs. And it's just Trey Palmer. Is he that guy? Like, can he do it? The tight ends are suspect, but I don't. And in defense, I think they lost some stuff. They lose Shaquille Barrett. I think they're weak on the edges. I don't think they're as strong as they need to be. The safeties are good. Corners aren't. I mean, is he their best corner? Yeah. And nobody's going, man, I wish I had that guy on my team. And they lose. I mean, other than Levante David at linebacker, I don't think it's as strong. I think losing White hurts, and I know he had his attitude issue and that hurts, but when that guy was committed, he was pretty good. They're leaning a lot, I think, on their young guys. They're asking, because they're in a little bit of a youth movement, that these young guys coming in have to perform right away. And it's asking a lot. I have them at 10-7 with a tie with the Eagles, or not the Eagles, the Falcons, but the Falcons winning the division. I think there's enough on offense that'll keep them there. I wish they would have, man, I thought they had to just do anything at running back. I don't think Rachaad White's the guy. Like, you guys can answer this. Who was the guy playing at the end of the year while White was on the bench? Because he wasn't hurt. It was I think his number was 44. I don't remember the name. Like, there was a running back that was playing. Like, who is this guy?
Deuce Vaughn?
Maybe, because I had White on my fantasy football team, and I was so mad that he was on the bench.
It wasn't Deuce Vaughn. It was the guy from Syracuse.
His name's eluding me right now.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
But real quick, didn't we keep Kenny Britt?
Sean Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker. So he's playing, and I do like the pickup of Tyke Smith. I think he has to be their slot or their nickel corner. I don't know if he can move back to safety. I think they're good there. I just don't. There are some what ifs with them. Like, they have really good pieces. It's just, do they have the right pieces? Like, every time we keep talking about teams that are contending, we talk about how good their O-line is. Man, I don't know. But I got them at 10-7. But I'm going to give the tiebreaker to the Falcons. But I do like the Bucs, man. They're a fun team. I like Baker. Who doesn't like Mike Evans? Unless you're this Lattimore, then you hate Mike Evans with a passion.
It's a good rivalry. We always look forward to that.
Oh yeah, I
They
love
need
it.
to fight.
So
They need
I
to
will ask
fight.
you this, Carlos, with 10-7. So do you think that, say if the Bucs go 10-7, Falcons go 10-7, just like you're saying, Falcons take first place, so that eliminates Tampa from the playoffs then? Do you see that?
No, I mean they could sneak in as the last wild card.
Maybe a wild card. Okay.
They could. I mean, they have that. I mean, the experience of playoff games with their crew, like Evans, Godwin, Mayfield. I'm not a real huge Todd Bowles fan either, man. That guy is good.
I'm not either, and I'm
not.
And this is from a Bucs fan. I hated the fact that we did not call a timeout in that Lions game. I get that, the odds are no, the game is over. But gosh dang, man, this team fought for you. This team fought all year. No one predicted us to be in the divisional round competing to go into the NFC Championship game last year. Everyone had us picking Caleb Williams by the end of the year because they thought Tom Brady's gone. This is going to be the death of the Bucs run. And Baker is going to do what Baker does. And it was the complete opposite. And I hated seeing that we just almost gave up there at the end of the year with not calling
because he shows
that
no
time.
emotion.
Huh?
He's emotionless. Todd Bowles is an emotionless
Oh
human
my
being.
god!
Yeah,
Just,
he's great in defense. Don't get me wrong. Another dude who is probably a great coordinator, but he needs to show some passion. Like he might be a different dude behind the cameras and stuff, but if you're on the sidelines like this the whole time,
dude, it makes me so mad.
Even Bill Belichick threw a headset.
Yeah, it does. It makes me so mad. But I mean, it's just who he is, and he'll probably. I think Todd Bowles is probably going to have another couple of years, and unless if they start declining rapidly, he could be here for a really long time. Because the Glazers, I mean, they, unlike the Panthers owner who gets 3 head coaches a year, the Glazers, tend to stick it out a little bit more.